Hello, I'm Adam Newman. This is my official YouTube channel. Please subscribe and support them. The Young and the Restless Spoilers Monday Update, the 22nd of June, 2026. Welcome back to our channel, fellow Genoa City addicts. Today is a beautiful day, but our stress levels are absolutely through the roof after what we just witnessed on screen. Grab your coffee, or maybe something a lot stronger, because we have a massive amount of drama to unpack today. Let's dive right into the madness. I cannot believe they went there. I am literally sitting here typing this at 2 a.m. because my brain will not shut off and I need to get this out of my system before I explode. Am I the only one who is physically sick over what they are doing to Nikki Newman right now? I mean, I've been watching this show for years and years, and this is honestly one of the most gut-wrenching, cruelest twists they've ever thrown at a legacy character. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me just take a deep breath. Okay, back to the point. We need to talk about that clinic scene, because it absolutely destroyed me. We finally got the brutal truth about Nikki's headaches and those blurred vision spells she has been stubbornly trying to ignore for weeks. She's sitting there in the specialist clinic with Victoria right by her side, and the doctor drops the absolute worst bomb imaginable. A tumor? A freaking tumor pressing directly on her optic nerve. And it's not just a simple, let's go in, remove it, and you'll be fine soap opera medical situation. Oh no. The writers had to make it as tragic and impossible as humanly possible, because if they leave it untreated, she goes completely blind. But because of exactly where this thing is located, the surgery itself has a massive risk of blinding her anyway. The success rate is practically zero. Like, are you kidding me? Hasn't this woman suffered enough? She has battled Victor's endless nonsense for decades. She has battled severe alcoholism. She has fought off literal psychos. She's dealt with MS, and now she is facing the one thing she cannot fight, outsmart, or buy her way out of. The scene back at the athletic club suite just broke my heart into a million pieces. Melody Thomas Scott deserves an Emmy for that silent stare out the window. You could just feel the crushing weight of a woman who has controlled Genoa City high society for years, suddenly realizing she is completely powerless. Victoria is in full panic mode, which is totally understandable. Promising to get Nate to look at the scans, begging for a second opinion, trying to find any loophole in this nightmare. But Nikki is just silent. And that silence is so much louder than any of the screaming matches this family usually has. I mean, how do you even process the idea of living the rest of your life in the dark? It is the kind of silence that is worse than any scream in the Newman family playbook. But then, just when I was crying along with them, Nikki does the most Nikki Newman thing ever. Victoria reaches for her phone to call Victor, and Nikki just coldly hangs it up. Nope, not happening. She refuses to let Victor see her weak. She refuses to be his victim, his patient, or his project. And I am so here for this level of stubborn pride. I know some people are loving the idea of Victor swooping in to save her and being the protective patriarch, but personally, I am so glad she is shutting him out right now. She makes Victoria promise to keep it a secret between them. Which, let's be real, is the funniest joke of the entire episode, because keeping a secret in Genoa City is like trying to hold water in a colander. It is literally impossible. Remember when they tried this secret illness plot with other characters in the past? Yeah, didn't work then either. Secrets in this town have a shelf life of about 12 hours. And speaking of secrets lasting exactly 5 seconds, can we talk about Claire? I am sorry, but this girl is driving me absolutely insane right now. She is running around town playing Little Miss Matchmaker like she's starring in her own daytime Hallmark movie. She sets up this whole fake business lunch at the GCAC with Victor, pretending she wants to talk about the publishing division now that the family has the company back. She's sitting there with her wide, innocent eyes, looking all eager and ambitious, but Victor Newman is not an idiot. He sees through her little trap before the waiter even brings the breadbasket. He immediately guesses that she invited Nikki too, and Claire doesn't even deny it. She just straight up admits she wants her grandparents to reconcile and make up. Victor tells her straight up that life isn't a fairy tale and they aren't going to just ride off into the sunset together. He shuts down her little fantasy world real quick. And what does Claire do? Because she has zero filter and absolutely no understanding of how dangerous the information she holds is, she just blurts out that Nikki went to the doctor for her headaches. I literally screamed at my TV. Claire, shut up. So much for Victoria's sacred promise to her mother. The secret is out, and Victor has the scent. The mustache is on the prowl, and you know he is going to tear the hospital apart to get those medical records. I am kind of dreading his reaction because he always makes these things about his own need for control, but I also want to see him go scorched earth on anyone who tries to hide Nikki's condition from him. It's going to be an absolute explosion when he confronts Victoria and Nikki. Okay, let's pivot, because I cannot even deal with the absolute horror show happening over at the Abbott Mansion. I am physically repulsed by what I am watching. Patty Williams is literally playing domestic goddess while holding Diane hostage, and Jack is just trapped in this bizarre, twisted nightmare. The scene opens with Patty serving up this massive, perfect breakfast spread. Quiche, muffins, mimosas. She even rescheduled Jack's calendar with his assistant. She is living out her sick, twisted 1950s housewife fantasy, and it is terrifying. It's like she truly believes if she just bakes enough muffins, Jack will suddenly fall madly in love with her and forget that she is a literal criminal holding his wife captive. Jack wakes up looking like he wants to vomit, and honestly, same. He snaps at her, saying letting her move in was a massive mistake. But Patty, in all her delusional glory, just casually reminds him that if he backs out of their little arrangement, he can kiss Diane's safety goodbye. So Jack, the powerful billionaire CEO of Jabot, is reduced to angrily chewing on a muffin in his own kitchen. It is so humiliating, but Peter Bergman is playing the suppressed rage so perfectly. I kinda love how much I hate this storyline. It's classic soap opera blackmail, but with Patty, it feels so much more unhinged, because she actually believes they are a happy family. The psychological torture she is putting Jack through is next level. So Jack, trying to play the game, asks about Diane's doctor, and Patty casually says, "Oh, he's coming over." And sure enough, doctor Lawrence Markham shows up at the mansion. This guy gives me the absolute creeps. He is so slick, so composed, and he totally stonewalls Jack. Jack is demanding answers, practically begging to know where his wife is, and Markham just plays the confidentiality card. He claims Diane is working through severe trauma, that she explicitly doesn't want Jack to know where she is, and that his hands are tied by doctor-patient privilege. It is masterful gaslighting. He is standing in Jack's living room, lying to his face, and using medical ethics to cover up a kidnapping. But Jack isn't completely stupid. Thank God. While Markham is talking and spinning his web of lies, Jack is secretly texting Kyle, telling him to tail the doctor when he leaves. Yes, finally, someone is doing something proactive. I am so ready for Kyle to go full detective mode and track this shady doctor back to wherever they are keeping Diane. But wait, it gets even more infuriating. Jack asks Markham point blank if Patty is actually cured of her mental illness. And this corrupt hack of a doctor looks Jack dead in the eye and says Patty is as sane as you are before smoothly walking out the door. I mean, are we serious? Sane? Patty Williams? The woman who poisoned Summer Newman? The woman who literally stole Emily Peterson's face? The woman who has been obsessed with Jack for decades and is currently blackmailing him for sex with muffins and mimosas? Yeah, totally sane. Which brings me to my massive tangent and theory that is keeping me awake right now. I am absolutely convinced that Dr. Markham is actually Martin Laurent in disguise. Think about it. We know Martin was arrested, but his whereabouts are sketchy. We know Patty has deep, dark connections to plastic surgery face swaps from her Emily days. What if she helped Martin get a new face so he could pretend to be Markham? And Diane just happened to notice books by Dr. Alan Laurent in her little padded prison cell. The clues are all there. I am telling you, the writers are setting up a massive reveal. If this is true, then Phyllis and Sharon are going to have to get involved. They are the ones who survived Martin's twisted clinic of horrors. Can you imagine Phyllis and Sharon having to team up to save Diane Jenkins, the woman they both absolutely despise? That would be television gold. I know some people are tired of the constant kidnappings and the hostage storylines, but I am so here for this because it ties so much rich show history together. The trauma bonding, the past rivalries, the sheer panic of it all. But honestly, even with all this Abbott drama, my heart is just breaking for Nikki right now. Between the Diane hostage crisis tearing the Abbotts apart and Nikki's impending blindness threatening to destroy the Newmans, Genoa City is an absolute chaotic mess right now. I don't know how any of these characters are sleeping, because I certainly can't. I am going to be a wreck waiting for the next episode. Will Kyle follow Markham to the safe house? Will Victor confront Nikki about her diagnosis? Will Jack actually have to sleep with Patty to save Diane? I need answers right now.